What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Next Gen Career Mode. This is episode number 48, and we start today's episode off by starting the new Bundesliga season. Yes, epic, the games are back, and we take on Schalke for today's first game, and also today's first of two games, but we take on Schalke for the first game of the season, is what I meant to say, here away at the Veltins Arena. And of course, this is going to be a big game. Schalke finished 4th last season, and you'd have to think that this year they'll try and challenge for a title, like we're going to be trying to do so as well, trying to break the Bayern Munich and Dortmund mould as the two top teams. So we take on Schalke. And of course, they've got a very good side. They've got some fantastic players in there, such as Boateng and Huntelaar and Farfan, and a player that I'm looking at as well in Marco Hoga. Is that how you say his name? It's CDM. A couple of good players, and Papadopoulos as well at the centre-back. So, very decent side. And the first chance of this game here would fall in the 18th minute as Schalke give the ball to Papadopoulos, but he gives the ball away to Lasogga, making his, second debut, if you will. Goes through and strikes it, but it cannons off the bar. And that's what I love about Lasogga. He's got so much shot power, it's crazy, but it hits the bar and goes out for a goal kick, so he almost scores on his second debut for the club. But in the 31st minute here, Sydney Sam finds Lasogga. It falls to William Carvalho. He plays it towards Robin. Robin gets onto the ball and finds Schmelzer, our left back. Ends up swinging it across. Lasogga wins the header, but again for the second time he hits the woodwork. This time it hits the post and it goes straight into the goalkeeper's gloves. So still scoreless, but the early chances come into us. And in the 45th minute here, Kevin Vollen gets on the ball, and again we play it forward towards Lasogga. Look at the strength to get past his man. Goes through, and for the third time in the first half, Lasogga hits the woodwork. Again he strikes the far post, and it's still 0-0. So 3 great chances for Lasogga, but I just couldn't take them with him, and it's still scoreless here. And Huntelaar here forces a good save from Ter Stegen as we open the second half here. Very good stop by our goalkeeper. And in the 50th minute here, Schalke get on the ball again. This time it's Kevin Prince Boateng. He finds Farfan. What a chance for Schalke to make it 1-0, but it's a good save by Ter Stegen, and he gets up quickly and makes another great one to deny Huntelaar. So a fantastic double save by our goalkeeper. Yes, Huntelaar should have scored, but even so, he gets up really quickly and tips the ball over the bar there. So great double save by Ter Stegen. It's still scoreless, but in the 56th minute here, Lasogga gets on the ball, gives it to Kevin Vollen. Vollen tries to get past his man, but gives the ball away. But Schalke do the exact same, give it away. William Carvalho wins it, rolls it through towards Marco Reus, making his Hertha Berlin debut. And despite the ball hitting the woodwork for the 4th time in the game, this time it hits the woodwork and goes in. So Marco Reus making his debut for Hertha Berlin makes it 1-0. And we do finally take the lead. So Lasogga was sitting there, probably just wiping the sweat from his forehead, thinking, thank Christ for that, seriously, because I should have buried 3 or 4 chances in this game. And thankfully it's the other man making his debut. He makes it 1-0. So yeah, Marco Reus with a great finish, and that's a lovely finish as well, the outside of his left boot into the bottom corner. So yeah, I'm really excited for the way I got this team set up. Lasogga leading the line as a striker, Reus on the left cutting into his right, Vollen playing as a CAM with those lovely high work rates, and the right attacking mid as well, Sydney Sam cutting into his left foot. So yeah, we've got a really deadly attack here at Hertha Berlin. I'd say here at Dortmund, here at Hertha Berlin, and great to see Marco Reus open his scoring for the club here on his debut. It's 1-0, and in the 83rd minute here, Goretzka gets on the ball, chips it forward towards Lasogga. Is this the moment for our big striker? He stops the ball, gives it away, but it comes to Vollen, back to Lasogga, gets past his man. Is he finally going to score? No, I blast the shot over the bar, and it is still 1-0. So I just couldn't score with Lasogga, I really couldn't. I was doing everything right, but unfortunately I just couldn't seem to get the ball over the line. So still 1-0. That was my poor finishing there, but still 1-0. But in the 87th minute here, I did actually bring Lasogga off for Yashil as he was beginning to tire, and as Yashil off the bench does get on the ball, he gets past Papadopoulos, slides it through with a great through ball towards Marco Reus. Can he get his second goal of the game? Yes, he can. Finesses the ball into the bottom corner, and it's Schalke 0, Marco Reus's Hertha Berlin 2. So great finish there, and it is 2-0. And as I said, £21 million for this guy. I didn't need the financial takeover for him because we had the money to sign him beforehand, but he's so good. He's so good on FIFA, and this is like the first time I've ever used him as well. He's so good, but this is like the first time I've ever used him, and I can see why he's so popular on Ultimate Team. I really can. He's unbelievable. So Schalke 0, Hertha Berlin 2, the final score. Both goals coming through a debutant Marco Reus, and also Sydney Sam making his debut play quite well as well, as did Lasogga making his second debut for the club. So everyone played really well in that game, and we got the win too. But also, Timo Werner might be joining us on loan, we're not sure yet. And also, a transfer offer came in for Philip Sprint, our third choice goalkeeper. He is once again going to go on loan for the season, but he never grows or anything. I might as well just release him, you know. But even so, he'll go out on loan, and there you go. And also, Arsenal are going to consider letting us take Zelalem on loan as well. And as you would have seen as well, I've been looking at doing future fees a lot more often, you know, because usually I never bother. I never used to bother with future fees. I used to think, you know, I'll take him for a loan deal, and maybe next year I'll sign permanently, but now I'm starting to include future fees, and it's quite handy option to have, really. But anyway, here's a scout report. All these players looked unbelievably average, so we just rejected them all, and we still haven't signed a single player for our academy yet. But also, Schalke is going to Werder Bremen, or most likely going to Werder Bremen here, as we accept we asked him for £1.6 million as the counter offer there. And also, Timo Werner is going to be joining us on loan. He's also got a £1.25 million future fee tagged to his name as well, so if we like him we can sign him for that much, and I think that could be a good deal for us there, because he does look like a very good player for the future. And also, Schalke is on his way to Werder Bremen for £1.6 million. That's totally fine with me. He was a good player in our first season, we don't really need him anymore. But also, Zelalem is going to join a season-long loan, and also, just like Werner, he's got a future fee attached of 800 grand, so if we like him after the season we can take him for 800 grand. And again, I will probably do that anyway, because, you know, we've had him for the last 2 seasons on loan. Every time we've played him he's been quite decent. He's not growing amazingly well, but he is only 18 years old and 68 overall, so there's a lot of potential for him. And yeah, we'll most likely take him at the end of the season, unless he gets like a serious injury or just plays unbelievably bad in the games he plays in. But anyway, we take on Borussia Dortmund for the second and final game of today's episode. So after we beat Schalke here, we want to make it 2 wins from our opening 2 games against 2 big teams. You know, I mean, these are 2 teams that were in the top 4 of us last year, so, you know, a very tough start for us. But we came through on the first hurdle. Could we win this one as well, as we take on Borussia Dortmund? Well, we signed Marco Reus off them, but they've still got a fantastic side, haven't they? Fantastic side, really, really good, very strong offensively, and a good defence as well. So we take them on here at the Olympia Stadion for our home debut of the season. And the first chance for in the 13th minute here is Gundogan crosses the ball in towards Subotic. He heads the ball, but it goes just wide the post via a deflection, and it's out for another corner. And Gundogan goes across the field to take it again, crosses the ball in towards Benteke, but it's a great save by Ter Stegen to deny the former Aston Villa striker, and it is still 0-0. But in the 25th minute here, Gundogan gets on the ball again, rolls it out wide towards the man whose name I can't pronounce. I think it's something like Grosskreutz. He crosses the ball in, and Błaszczykowski heads the ball in and makes it 1-0. So it's the Polish wide man who gives Dortmund the lead in this game, and it's our first goal conceded of the season. Błaszczykowski gets it. It's a very good header, no chance for Ter Stegen, and it's 1-0 to the away side. So not a good start for us, and it could have got even worse in the 34th minute, but thankfully for us, the Belgian striker Benteke hits the far post, and it goes out for a goal kick. So all the chances in this game were coming to Dortmund, you know, and despite us having a couple of their players in Schmelzer and Royce, they were playing really, really well, and we were getting very lucky. Every time they attacked, they looked like scoring, but thankfully, Ter Stegen was playing relatively okay, and our defence wasn't looking too bad, but they were playing so well, and I thought it's only going to be a matter of time before they score again. But here you see Ginter get this ball away, and it comes to Lasogga, but unfortunately the chance comes to nothing, and it's still 1-0, and that was it for the first half. Nothing was going our way, but in the 60th minute here we tried to respond, and as Marco Reus rolls it through towards Kevin Volland here, he fake shots round his man, goes through the centre. It's a great chance here. Lasogga's in the centre, but he keeps on going himself. He shoots from a tight angle, but it's the veteran goalkeeper Weidenfeller who dives onto the ball and keeps it at 1-0. So we just couldn't find the equalising goal. But in the 76th minute, Kevin Volland finds William Carvalho. Carvalho slides it through towards Lasogga. Lasogga, who usually gets the goals, this time passes the ball to William Carvalho and gets the assist instead. So good hold off by Lasogga. Good ball to William Carvalho, who shoots. Although I have to say as well, Weidenfeller probably should have saved that one. He tipped the ball onto the post and it just crept into the back of the net. I really think, as you watch it on the replay, he should have saved it. Yes, the shot had power, but you know, he got 2 strong hands on it. He probably should have saved it, but still 1 apiece. But in the 84th minute here, Dortmund tried to get themselves back in front. Mkhitaryan gets onto the ball and finds Edin Dzeko. Dzeko finds Mkhitaryan, and unfortunately for us, the Armenian playmaker goes down, and the former Shakhtar Donetsk man wins a penalty with just under 5 minutes to go, and it's off of Badstuber. And you'll watch this on the replay. I have to say, at first I thought no penalty, but yeah, I can see why the referee gave it. So With just under 5 minutes to go, Dortmund had a chance to make it 2-1 and get themselves back in front. It was Gundogan who was having a fantastic game here, who had the chance to make it 2-1 against Ter Stegen. So really good chance for Dortmund to score the goal and give themselves the late winner in this game as he stands up, stutters, but it's Ter Stegen who pulls off the save. So usually I'm terrible at saving penalties, but thankfully Ter Stegen pulls off a clutch penalty save with just a few minutes to go, and we managed to get a draw. And that is a real reality check. You know, for anyone thinking that now we've got Saga back and we signed Marco Reus, for anyone thinking we should be able to rip up this league, trust me, this is still going to be unbelievably hard. But as always guys, big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of my Next Gen Career Mode very soon.